A YouTube channel uploaded videos faster than a human could watch them. Hundreds of thousands of uploads with almost no context, and next to no explanation. It didn't go viral, it didn't chase views, it just kept posting. Most internet mysteries are found. This one was manufactured. This is Unfavorable Semicircle. When you first stumble across a channel like this, your brain immediately tries to assign a meaning to it. A story, a creator, or even a reason. Because on YouTube, even the strange corners usually lead somewhere, be it a trend, a fandom, or just a person behind the camera trying to share their content. But Unfavorable Semicircle, well, it doesn't behave like that at all. It feels less like a channel and more like an output. A machine posting into the void. And what made it unforgettable wasn't any single video, it was the sheer scale. Within the first 24 hours, the channel posted 1,247 videos. By late February of 2016, less than 11 months after its first upload, Unfavorable Semicircle had provided around 72,000 videos before it was terminated. That works out to roughly 6,500 uploads a month on average, and that's just the average. The actual pace swung dramatically. Most of the uploads were short, sometimes only a few seconds. The thumbnails were minimal, repetitive, simple shapes, often in a curved form resembling, well, a semicircle. And the titles, they were even stranger. Strings of letters, numbers, symbols, sometimes nothing that looked human at all. Some of the clips were silent, and some carried faint tones or harsh digital noise. Many felt like fragments of something that didn't want to be watched, not because they were graphic or shocking, but because they were empty. Like the channel wasn't trying to communicate with its viewers, it was trying to complete a task. And at some point, people started asking the obvious question. If nobody is watching, then why did it keep uploading? To understand why this channel became a legend, we have to start with when it appeared, and how quickly it grew. Early on, the channel's pace was described roughly as one upload every 10 minutes. Already strange, but humanly observable. Then, in early February of 2016, something changed. The upload rate reportedly spiked to multiple videos per minute, fast enough that even trying to browse the channel became overwhelming. This is the moment Unfavorable Semicircle stopped feeling like a weird creator and starts to feel like an automated system that won't shut off. Like most early web mysteries, it didn't explode because YouTube promoted it. It spread because people found it, posted it, and other people just couldn't look away. By late 2016, it hit wider attention, through internet mystery circles and mainstream curiosity coverage, most notably articles that framed it as one of YouTube's strangest mysteries. And once the channel had the spotlight, it wasn't just an oddity anymore. It was a problem that many eyes could suddenly see. And then, almost as quickly as the public attention arrived, the original channel was suspended and terminated in late 2016, with multiple sources and community timelines placing the removal right after the major coverage. However, that takedown is actually part of what hardened the mystery into a legend. It created the perfect ending. No explanation, no closure, just a channel that posted like a machine and then got wiped. And I hear you. You're probably wondering the obvious question. Why would YouTube remove something that wasn't even popular? Well, not only is that the real rabbit hole, but it's also where our bad ending begins. Although the channel disappeared in 2016, the mystery didn't. In fact, it multiplied. Because on the internet, deletion doesn't always mean erasure. What it really means is scattering. Videos become files, files become mirrors, and mirrors become archives. And through that process, pieces of Unfavorable Semicircle began resurfacing in places the original creator never controlled. Re-upload channels, community collections, and archive packs assembled by people who couldn't stop asking the same question. What the hell was that? Today, if you look for Unfavorable Semicircle, you won't find one official archive. You'll find fragments. However, there is a silver lining to this. It didn't die. It just changed forms. So dear viewers, we can still watch it. Mostly. And once people had enough material to study, that's where Unfavorable Semicircle stops feeling like just noise. You see, the channel hid images inside the uploads. Not in the titles, not in the audio, but the actual frames themselves. Most videos flash through visuals so quickly that you'd never be able to register them in real time. But if you extract the frames, layer, and combine them, something starts to appear. Not a clean HD picture, but more like a ghost image. A faint scene hiding under the noise. Now, I have to be honest here, and these composites are real, and people have replicated them. However, just because they are real doesn't necessarily mean they are with purpose. There are two possibilities we have to consider. One, it's intentional and deliberate. A message hidden in plain sight, only visible if you reconstruct it, giving it a carefully constructed message behind every upload. 2. It's entirely accidental. An artifact of repetition, compression, and templated generation. Patterns stacking into an image that looks meaningful because our brains are built to find meaning. And that's the trap. The human mind hates randomness, so whenever you show it static long enough, it starts to draw faces in it. So I'm not going to tell you that these overlays prove anything. They don't. But what they do prove is something else. Even in a channel that feels entirely automated, there are moments that look too structured to ignore. And that's why this mystery refuses to die. There are a lot of theories, because Unfavorable Semicircle feels like it should have a key, a hidden message, a cipher, a purpose. But to keep this grounded, we're going to separate the theories into two categories. One that sounds fun, and the ones that actually make sense. The most obvious explanation, and honestly the most likely, it was a scripted uploader, a bot. A pipeline that took generated content and posted it endlessly. Because the upload volume wasn't just high, it was inhuman. And the content itself often felt like it was produced from templates, reoccurring shapes, similar formatting, and repeatable title structures. In short, the theory says Unfavorable Semicircle wasn't a creator, it was a process. Another strong theory is that the channel was testing YouTube itself. Compression behavior, encoding edge cases, upload limits, playback failures, and algorithmic responses. Not for fun, but for observation. Even years later, discussion around the channel often circles back to the idea that videos weren't meant to be watched. They were meant to be handled by the platform. The next one is weirdly compelling because it explains something the other theories don't. Intentional aesthetics. Some videos aren't just random noise, they feel curated, minimal, repetitive, and hypnotic. In 2022, an anonymous user claimed the channel was essentially an outsider's art project and an attempt to create something unknowable at scale. Now, if that claim is true, then the point wasn't the content. The point was its existence, a monument made entirely of uploads. I saved the best theory for last, and it's probably one of the more famous ones. This one states that it's some sort of code, and while I agree it would be awesome, it unfortunately collapses under scrutiny. Yes, the channel contains numbers, symbols, patterns, and repetition. But according to the commentary cited by the BBC and experts in the subject matter, a traditional number station explanation just doesn't fit cleanly, because it's too complex, too noisy, and too inconsistent for standard signal logic. Still, people kept returning to it because it's human nature to believe. If it looks like a code, it must be a code. Or is it a duck? I can't remember the saying. As for what I think, well, it fits into a few categories. A potent mix of the bot theory and the stress test theory. I think early on the channel was built to test one simple question. How much and how fast can you upload? At first it was probably still guided by a human hand, but over time the system grew more advanced, and the output ramped up to speeds no person could keep up with. Not only testing the software's limit, but also testing YouTube's. And much like Icarus and his wax wings, this account flew too close to the flaming ball that is YouTube's moderation. We all know how that story ends. Now, I know this one was a little abstract, but I'm a sucker for unsolved oddities, and this is one of the purest examples. A mystery made of patterns, repetition, and silence. If you want more stories like this, I can't upload at the pace of Unfavorable Semicircle, but I do post often, so subscribe. I'd like to see you around. Until the next broadcast, I wish you a good